Hey all, 118 Set Shadow here. Sorry this came in a little late. I was coming back from the Illinois BSF from this weekend, which was really fun, but I was so tired afterward. I was in the middle of trying to do my analysis and then I just kind of crashed. So again, I apologize, but I've got it back up now, so let's go ahead and get started with the way that Shadowverse is looking now that the BSF tournament series is over for North America, because TCG Player is primarily used by a North American audience. We are, I mean, the thing is with Shadowverse Evolve, we have seen lots of single drops in prices overall, and this Market Watch is no exception. And we have a really surprising one on top of that we're going to cover as well. But before we go into the singles, we also have pre orders of Omen's Eternal, which is set 5 now available on TCG Player. Box prices are starting at $100, and then we've got case prices starting at $1,500 right now, which I would say just shop around a bit, because I'm pretty sure, given that the MSRP of these is usually $60, they're probably going to be cheaper more around hobby shops, but we'll see. And the other thing I just want to cover while we go through some of these is, yeah, we're looking through a bunch of commonly used cards as well as just promos on top of that. Like Demon Lord Ector, which is a really big card when it comes to Abyss's Necrocharge. It's still a really cheap card to pick up as a gold. It's 15 cents to start, and well, apparently we did have a $2 sell, but when you look at the distribution, this card just it's under 50 cents, and yet you have to play 3 of it. It does have the Lelouch counterpart too, but even if we were to take a look at that, that card is also only 10 to 25 cents. It's just not expensive at all. That just makes it really easy to build decks like Abyss Necrocharge in comparison to some others. I mean, my analysis before on the overall deck price, I know cards like Marazensky are still pretty expensive, and if you're playing Bellringer, that was also expensive at the time. It's, I mean, ultimately, it's still pretty easy to build some of these decks, given that a lot of their particular staples are easy to pick up. Prime Dragon Keeper is another example, where as a gold, this card is higher than Nektar right now, but even its market price is still under $1 at this point. And most of the other cards that you can play in this deck are really cheap as well. Oracle, of course, being one of the more expensive ones, and then Dragoon as well. But given that you don't, ultimately, it's again just a matter of whether you play Bellringer or not. And since this is more of a low cost deck, a lot of your big cost cards, which were pretty expensive, like Israfil or Riko Kashimoto, you don't tend to play those as much, which keeps the price down too. Alice has also dropped off even further than when we last talked about it. Now it's got a lot of listings underneath $20 for its base form. It's been getting picked up for $20 for the last few listings. The market price is almost 28, but you can see from here we have lots of listings available at $16 across all the way through the first page outside of that last listing that we see there. So this card has been dropping off heavily. As mentioned, the only deck that really plays this anymore for competitive purposes is Haven Eggburn, and that will continue to see play as we move into set 5, but again, with less decks getting played in terms of Fable, we're just seeing heavy drop-offs here. However, I believe there is going to be some new Fabled support coming in Japan later down the line. I still need to do some more research on that, but this I mean, $15 is not bad for Alice. As we go along, it will probably get lower as the card just, again, only one deck really plays it competitively at this point. Valiant Fencer is also dropping off in value here, where the the base form had shot up to $30 at certain points, and we've still seen sales from $16 to $20 as of late. But we have listings available from $13 to $15 right now. So that's just another massive drop off for a card that got a lot of hype. Is pretty strong, but yeah, it's as tournament season wraps up for the BSF in North America. Yeah, I guess players are just trying to unload too. But some of these starter decks have been going up in value, like the Great Worm deck, the Dragoncraft one, is $25 base right now, and we've been seeing sales recently at 25 plus. Available listings are also 25 all the way to $30, so these decks are going up, which is interesting to see given that when we take a look at the price of Dragon Oracle, that's actually been going further down as of late. Although there's still $5 at least, and they're getting bought for at least 6. But this is the biggest card to pick up in this set right now, in this deck, as compared to a lot of the other cards that are available here. Fafnir has... I don't think Fafnir is really going to see much play down the line. There's Dragon Warrior, of course, which is always a great one to pick up. Seabrand Dragon is not a bad pick as well if we start going into some more Storm variants for Dragoncraft. And yeah, there's some good things here and there, but yeah, this deck has just been going up quite a lot. Felice Leonardian Mage, I'm impressed at how well this promo version has been holding in comparison to Aria. This one is still holding at about $45, and it hasn't seen any sales since mid-May, but it's still been selling at the $45 mark. All of the listings that are currently available, we've got a lot of them under $50, but eventually they go back up from there. So yeah, it's interesting to see. Then Penguin Wizard is now available as well, but we don't have any listings on the market right now. Someone just bought out a single listing of 23 copies at $1 each yesterday. Oh, geez. Yeah, so that's available right now. I think that means cards like Secret Plea and Lucifer should be on here too. Let me see. Yep, the promo Sacred Plea is also up right now, and that one is actually $15. 2 listings available on that one. So yeah, that's pretty big. Sacred Plea is one of those staples that you also play for most of your Haven decks. Burn does not play this one, but Control typically always tends to play Sacred Plea. Talking about some of the promos from BSF 2024, though, Explosion is one of the bigger ones to pick up, if not the biggest. $46 for the base price right now, and this has been selling as high as $60, but that was from mid-May. And now that we're done with the BSF, we're getting more copies on the market all of a sudden, starting at $46, and most of them are hitting around the $50 mark right now. And then we've got Tin Soldier as well, which does not have any listings right now for its promo. We have a market price of $50 on this one, and there were only 2 listings that sold in the last few days. It's just, yeah, we need some more of these on the market here. We've also got Dragon Summoner on top of that, which has been selling for $20 and only has a listing of $40 right now. Now, I will note that, and this was pointed out to me on one of my prior market watches, we still don't have a few of these promos listed on TCG Player, and those would be Heroic Entry for Swordcraft and the Queen for Runecraft, the Queen for the Chess series, which I don't know why those still have not made their way up to TCG Player yet when all of these have, so I suppose that's a miss on their part. Probably need to contact TCG Player and let them know that they're still missing some of these. Ancient Alchemist, the Evo form, which I have been talking about every so often, is still going down in price right now. I mean, its market price never really exceeded $2 in the last 3 months, but given it's the evolved version, I've said it so many times, evolved golds just continuously are always much higher in comparison to their base forms. But while Ancient Alchemist is just about $1.50 right now for with so many copies on the market, it should see more play later down the line when Dirt Room becomes really big. But until then, we're just not seeing much. Econodictus is going to be getting a lift on its restriction, and looking at its current price, the foil is currently about $1.50 with a market price of $1.60, while the regular gold, we've got 65 listings on that, and the market price is only 15 cents. I mean, we'll see how that, if that lifts up UMA in the later sets as we go along, but we'll just have to see where that goes. And it's not just Iconodictus. We've also got Trial Initiation, which is also getting its restriction lifted at the same time. We have 4 different copies of this on the market, though, and between the promo and the foil, because we got the foil that comes in the main set and the promo version that you could get from the shop tournament variation. That one is $2.50 base versus the 47-cent foil there, and the trial deck version is not selling at all at $3, and that's good because it should not. And then we've got the regular silver starting at 9 cents with a market price of 20 cents. So keep your eye on these ones, as until we get to Idolmaster. No, it's probably once we get to Colosseum with Kuon that Uma Musume will just completely fall off. But then with Idolmasters coming later after that, it'll definitely fall off after that, in my opinion. Draconeer Knuckle Dragons Evo. This is one of those Evos that's still holding in value, where we've got 8 listings and it's at least $7 to pick up right now. Most of the listings are available for over $8 at this point. But we will be getting a promo variation of this with the next series of the Shadowverse Showdown, so just keep that in mind when you look through that price. Punk Devil is still moving up in value ever so slowly. $2 right now for its base gold with a market price of $1.28, while the Springfest foiling is a little bit lower on its base listing at $1.72, and it's got more listings on the Springfest promo than it does the original gold. There are 6 listings on the gold, 14 listings on the Springfest promo. The market price is a little higher. The Hot Stamp one from Springfest, the Shop Challenge, $20 right now with only 3 listings left and a market price of almost $24. And our last card for today is Bellringer Angel, which has seen a massive drop-off in value on its base listings. We're going to talk about the base form here. Now, the premium version is $17.40 to start with a market price of $22, but let's go into detail on the regular gold right now. So the lowest listing, we've got $11.69 when you consider shipping, but you can see the drop-off here for the last several months. Bellringer had been jumping between $15-20 for quite some time, but now we've just been progressively seeing more and more copies fall closer and closer to $10. All the listings that are currently available, we've got a number of them at around 11 and then 13, but it's falling. It's falling really hard. This has been the gold to pick up in any capacity for boosters, given how popular and how pricey it was, but it's dropping. It still sees play in a variety of decks, but as we continue to see more cards come into play, Bellringer's just getting dropped for new support as we go along. It'll still see play here and there, but given the high amount of printing of this overall set, yeah, I don't know what to say. I felt like this would just continue to hold at 15, given that it's still played quite a lot, but it's actually dropping even further. So, and Glory Finder is going to have a reprint of this too, but of course the Glory Finder sets I think have an MSRP of about 100, so that's still a lot to put down for just picking this up. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.